Come and listen to this. Come and listen. I did a very strong research and very strong digging. And I found out that the justice that threw away Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's medical request for urgent treatment, yes, Justice Musa Liman is his name, but not only that, he is from Nasarawa State. Not only that, he is a Fulani man. And you know that Fulani people do not care, do not have any sympathy for human life. In fact, let me put it clearly, they don't have regard for human life. And if I can add more, they value the life of cow, the life of nama, goats and cow, higher than that of human being. So at this point, I know you are no longer surprised, as I am no longer surprised at such brazen disregard for life of a person that is coming to face trial in a court. It's like you do not care about the person, but you care about the case. How can you not care about the person that is bringing the case to court? It's very funny because judges always talk about habeas corpus, which means that people should be able to come to court to defend themselves. Now, how can Nnamdi Kanu, as he is sick, or perhaps if eventually what they are praying for happens, how is he going to come to the court to defend himself? Is the case more important than the person, or is the person more important than the case? So you see, the kind of country that we are sharing people with, people who do not place value on human life, that is the kind of people that we give charge of our judiciary, the kind of people we give charge of our ministries, the people that we give charge of government, of parastatals, institutions, presidency. These people who do not have value for people outside their own circle. That's exactly what this judge himself saw and gave judgment. Perhaps if it was a cow that was facing trial, or a goat, this man would have given the goat freedom to go for medical treatment. But because it was a human being, he refused. I'm not saying this because of Nnamdi Kanu alone. I did an extensive fact-checking again, and I found out 6 cases that this man also did that same magic. Something like that. 6 cases. And it goes to show you that the fruit does not fall far from the tree. Listen to this. Justice Musa Liman has been involved in several controversial judgments and rulings during his tenure as the Federal High Court in Abuja and Kanu, drawing criticisms for perceived bias, delays, or defiance of higher court orders. You see, this is a man that does not even have regard for rule of law. That even higher court orders defiance against them. Let's go on. Now, these are 6 controversial judgments by this same man that drew worldwide and local attention. 1. The Kanu Emirate injunction of June 2025. Justice Liman issued an injunction restraining the Kanu state government from reinstating Sanusi Lamido Sanusi as the Emir of Kanu amid ongoing disputes over the Emirate structure. This ruling was part of a broader tussle between state and federal interests, leading to accusations of overreach and political interference. It sparked widespread debate on judicial intervention in traditional rulership matters, which critics arguing it undermines state autonomy. Very, very true. How can a judge give judgments against the law? Sanusi Lamido Sanusi was reinthroned in Kanu as approved by the House of Assembly, which are the chief lawmakers that all these judges are following as their guideline in delivering justice. The lawmakers have approved it, they stamped it, and they passed it into law into the Kanu Emirates bill. All this man, Liman, needed to do, all Justice Liman needed to do was to interpret the current law, to interpret the law. But because of interference in his court, like I said, judicial interference, the same thing that happened in Nnamdi Kanu's court on this medical issue, he allowed his court to be used by higher powers. Of course, you know that throne of Kanu Emirate, there are two parties involved who are fighting. One is federal, one is state. So Justice Liman, of course, did his own power and stopped that, which he was not empowered to do. That shows you, number one, of what that man stands for. Let's go on. The APC chairman suspension halt of April 2025. In a decision on April 18, 2025, Liman halted the suspension of Abdullahi Ganduje, the national chairman of the APC, despite prior High Court order upholding the suspension. This was criticized for disregarding judicial hierarchy and potentially favoring political interests, with opponents calling it a judicial coup against party discipline. It's obvious who is working for. This man is clearly working for higher powers. His court is not a place people come and find justice. I beat my chest. His court is a place, is a slaughter ground. When the federal government wants to do their normal mago, it is just Liman's court they use. And that is just the way it is. Because you cannot tell me that somebody was suspended appropriately by his ward, by his party, and went to your court. Why is it your court he went to? And your court did this particular thing. Always is your court. Always is you. Why is it always you? Why? Why always you? They come to shop your judgment in your court all the time. Let's go on. Number 3 now. Edo governorship election case delay. Edo governorship election case delay of 2020-2021. In a suit filed by plaintiff Omorogbon against the INEC and the Attorney General over the 2020 Edo State governorship election, Liman fixed a ruling date in December 2020 but failed to deliver it for over a year. The plaintiff accused him of dereliction of duty, highlighting chronic judicial delays in election matters and eroding public trust in the judiciary. Always complaints. There is never a judgment he will give that will go well. No. Because once you give him a case, he already knows. Once you are challenging him or challenging his masters, and you know, once not the KANUS case, you know who is holding him. So you expect Justice Liman to come out and give KANU bail or give KANU treatment, permission, when you know who he is. I want to find out the kind of person he is, because normally a normal human being would give people permission to go for medical treatment. Because as a judge, you should even be scared of people not being able to defend themselves because of being wrongfully treated. Let's go on. In a cybercrime case, Liman denied activist Omoyele Sowore's request for temporary release of his passport, citing his failure to include family details in submissions as grounds to question his intent to return to Nigeria. Sowore accused Liman of aiding injustice, making himself an accessory to crime, and issuing an extensively long ruling to justify restricting his movement. This drew ire from human rights groups for potentially violating freedom of movement. Whenever he does not want to give judgment, he looks for alibi and give. Whenever he don't want to give judgment for you, he looks for alibi and give. The most easy, sometimes the most stupid alibi. They don't make any sense. They don't make any sense. He's always on the side of the government against the people. That is not justice. Now you can see the kind of judge that handled KANU's case. I don't even understand how KANU's lawyers ended up having this man to handle this case of yesterday, of this health issue case. I don't know how it landed in his hand. Because I don't know why you people don't know how to fact check a judge before you approach a judge. Because all these judges are there. They have been there for years. Their cases are there. You can go and read it and know. Mostly the ones who are sons, who know them very well. You know yourselves. So you cannot come and pretend you don't know who Liman is. You cannot pretend you don't know who Liman is and you allowed him to handle the case. And look at how far it went. Because you knew in your heart that there's no way it's not going anywhere. And of course, the case did not go anywhere. He struck it off. Now the KANU will still be in the cell with those same illnesses. And the judge knows that those things are highly dangerous to his health. The judge knows, but they don't care. Because now the KANU is not a cow or a goat. Because the life of a cow or goat is higher than that of a human being for every Fulani. That is the truth. That is the bitter truth. And they are the ones who are in charge of this country. And they are the ones who are kidnapping, banditry in the north. And whenever they are caught, they release them. Because the country belongs to them. The armed forces, the navy, the police belongs to them. So how do you expect them to jail a Fulani man? How do you expect them to jail a bandit when they are the ones, it's their brothers, who are even giving them amnesty? I appreciate Honorable Agwocha, who has, of course, raised his voice once again to send message to the presidency to release Nnamdi Kanu for medical treatment. I appreciate you. You have always been standing for Maaz Nnamdi Kanu from day one. You are highly appreciated, sir. God bless you. God bless you, Honorable Obi Agwocha. God bless you. These are the kind of people that we need in the society, people that uphold truth. Of course, we know that they may not accept, they may not accept it, or they may not even read your letter, whatever. But you have stood, and you have stood for what is right. Because one day, posterity will judge you right. So for those of you who keep using your office for injustice, thinking that all belongs to you today, forget about tomorrow. Don't forget about tomorrow. This world goes round. This world goes round. This world goes round. We keep praying for Maaz Nnamdi Kanu, and we know that he will hold strong in that dungeon, because great men in the Bible, great men in history, have fought through more dangerous adversaries to pull out strong, because healing comes from God. God will send his divine healing from above to heal that man of whatever is disturbing him, and he will not even have a need to go to cell, to go to hospital anymore, because God is a divine healer, not man. Not man. God will heal Maaz Nnamdi Kanu, and God will rescue Maaz Nnamdi Kanu. Supporters family, we are a family of truth, we are a family of purpose, and we are a family of faith. And with faith, we can move all mountains. I have been your host, Chi Ne Du. Thank you for watching my video. I'll see you next one. Peace.